Hi everyone. This is Kirti Mehta, and today we are going to discuss the next segments of the topic that we started in the last video, that is telephonic etiquettes. So today we are going to discuss about the few next phases which were left last time. So as we know that while we are talking to somebody over a phone call, the tone of our voice holds a really big number or big percentage of impact, while the words hold only the 14%. So as you can see in the picture itself, 86% of what you are speaking, what kind of tone you are using, has an impact on the other person, while your words have only the 14% weightage. So it is clearly obvious that the way you speak is more important as compared to what you are speaking. Obviously, in a professional work, you can't just say the random things, but how you are saying that simple basic things, that matters a lot. So tone in a telephonic conversation is really important, right? So while talking on a phone call, we should be really cautious about it. So on a phone call, there is a mental picture a person that creates about you, because he or she is not able to see you in person. So they are creating that mental picture. So that mental picture I have just described it as the different components of a speech, that is the pitch. P stands for the pitch, inflection, courtesy, tone, understanding, rate, and enunciation. So how you are saying the things, which tone you are using, are you courteous with your words, you're rude or what? So everything will come to know by just analyzing the tone or the voice, right? So there are some kind of experts who can just judge the personality of a person by once after they done calling to that person. So they can clearly come to know what kind of person you are, what kind of personality you have, what is your thought process, your mindset, and so many other things. So we need to be really cautious with what speed we are speaking and what are the things we are saying on a phone call. So there are different situations while we are attending a phone call. So okay, so answering the phone call, so it's a tough task, as we have discussed last time. We have to be really prepared. If your job is about where you have to receive a number of calls in a day, you have to be really prepared for that. So how you can prepare yourself, that is, you should have a pen, pencil, or whatever thing you like to note it down. So you need to have those things, those essentials, a notepad ready with yourself, and always have your computer on, because you don't know what the caller may ask you sometimes. So you should have all the details right in front of you, so that you don't afford to waste the time. So on a telephonic call, every second holds a maximum weightage as compared to you're seeing a person face to face. Ensure no noise at the background, absolutely no noise. For instance, if I am doing this session today here, if there are lots of noise in the background, then you people won't be able to hear what I'm saying clearly, right? So it might disturb you, it might distract you. Likewise, when we are attending a phone call or we are taking the phone calls, it is really important that you sit in a place which is kind of isolated, which does not have that kind of distractions in the background. So it's really advisable that you choose that place. So as we have already discussed few of the things, right? So answer the call before the third ring, because it does not imply the positive impression or kind of professionalism, and you are inactive, it can be kind of projected to the other person if you don't pick up the phone in before the third ring. Greet the caller afterwards, give your name, from where you are, about your company, and the reason why you're calling them. Then ask the caller and how you can help them, so and so things, and focus your attention on the caller. You are the one who has to be attentive and tell them through your voice, through your words, that you are attentive and your focus is on them only, right? So these are the few phases which we have done last time as well. Then placing a call, the thing we have just discussed about, when you are answering the call, somebody is calling you and you are answering the calls. But if you are placing the calls, if you are the one who's making the calls, then what are the things you need to know? First, you should know whom you are calling, what is their name, and how to pronounce it correctly. I have seen number of times that people might, have a lot of telephonic etiquettes, a lot of skills, but they don't even know whom they are calling and how to pronounce their name. The very thing which can, disturbs the other person as you're pronouncing their name in an incorrect manner. Suppose my name is Kirti and somebody who's calling me pronounce my name Kriti. So I just got very, kind of distracted or not interested in the first go itself. So it's really important to know the person's name and pronounce it in a correct manner. Know what you need to say before placing the call will make your call brief and effective. If you don't know what to say, what to talk, why you're calling them, no objective, no goal at all, then you're going to waste your time and their time as well. So it's really important that you know by your placing a call, what is the agenda, what you want to know, and what is the goal after making this call. So it all should be really clear to you. So it will make your call really effective and impactful. And verify the phone number before calling. So you don't want your effort to get wasted. You don't want to dial a call on a wrong number and embarrass yourself and the other one as well. So it's really advisable that you verify the number, right? In placing the call, state your name along with the name of person you're calling. If suppose you have just said, okay, am I speaking to so and so, my name is this, so that they verify, okay, you are speaking to the right person, and they immediately got to know who you are, right? And for an example, right, so I've just said quoted one example, and there is one example written on the screen itself. Ask the caller if it's convenient to talk. Most of the time when the callers make a call, they just the moment we said hello, they just start to discussing about lot many things and just bombard the receiver with lots of questions, instructions, information, and so many other things, which is not acceptable at all. You have to think from your perspective as well as from the receiver's perspective also, because you don't want them to feel loaded and burdened at any cost. So ask them if it's the right time to talk to you. I have worked with a lot of industries where I have to make a number of calls. So every time I make a call, I used to ask the other one if it's right time to talk to you. Are you free for like couple of minutes so that we can discuss the further things and we can take the discussion to further? If it is okay with them, then they will be interested to listen up to you. If it's not the right time, then they would clearly say a no, and you can place a call few minutes, few hours later, and a day later or so. So by doing this, you are asking for the permission, right? State your business as politely and clear as possible. Use the client's name during the conversation and insist on calling back if the connection is faulty. So again, you want the connection or the conversation to go on a smooth basis. So it's really important that we build a personal connection with them. By personal connection, I don't intend to say that you have to ask about their family backgrounds and what they do in life in their general time. So no, it's not like that. By personal connection, I mean that they should feel like they're not talking to a robot or something, or machine conversation. They're not having a machine conversation. So they're having a conversation with a person who's reliable, who's trustworthy, and who's belong to a good reputed company. This is the type of image you wish to portray in the mind of your receiver. So it's really important that you utilize your skills. Calling a person, talking to them, convincing them, it's an art. And we have to learn this art. It's not something people are born with. We really need to learn this thing. And if for some reasons the connection is not smooth, you're not able to hear them, so you can make a request that you call back later on, or if it's possible, they can place a call afterwards. Chances are pretty less that the receiver will itself make a call. So you have to just make sure that you dial a contact number on the scheduled timings afterwards, right? So these are the basic things which is really important. So we discussed how we start and how to take the conversation in between while answering and while placing the conversation, and how to end. It is really important when the conversation is complete. How you end the conversation is going to decide what kind of impact the receiver is going to have about you. So make sure whomsoever you're calling, they don't have any further inquiries or queries related to the topic you have had discussed with them. So always use goodbye and thank you for calling, or thank you for taking this call to end the conversation. Make sure that your caller drops a receiver before you, because if in case they are still on the line and you just disconnected, maybe there's a reason that they intend to ask something else. So it's always advisable, before ending the conversation, your receiver should have put the phone first before you, right? And that is again a reason that the other person don't have that hint that you intentionally cut the call, that your task is over and you just don't and no longer wants to talk to them. So just let them cut the call and afterwards you put your receiver down, right? So these are the basic etiquettes. We have discussed how to place the call, how to answer the call, and how to end the call or conversation. Well, at times it is possible that if you are making a call, then it is possible, if somebody is asking you some technical questions which you are unable to answer, and you wish to contact your senior person, or you want that person to get connected to somebody else who knows better or who can answer that query well, or in a brief structured way than you. So we follow the courtesy rule, that is transferring the calls, right? Again, if somebody has called as reception, so you want to talk to the manager of the company, of the hotel, so that receptionist will direct your call to that hotel manager or the department manager, right? So generally ask permission to transfer calls and explain the reason for the transfer. So if you are just going to get them connected to somebody else, it is really important that you tell them before connecting the call. Otherwise it will create a chaos, because they themselves will not know that whom they are talking to. So explain them why you are getting them transferred to the next call. Let the caller know the name and department you're transferring the call to. Again, I have discussed this point, that they must know whom they are going to talk in next couple of minutes. And it is really important that before transferring, you know that whom you are transferring the call is the right person, which is required to answer the same call. If you are transferring the call to the wrong person in the wrong department, then the customer will feel confused and frustrated, and they won't be interested anymore to have any conversation with the company, right? So if the caller complains about being transferred, suggest having the call returned instead. If they don't want to get transferred, they cannot get connected after transferring the call, just suggest them, okay sir or ma'am, we'll call you shortly, and we'll call you after a couple of hours. That's all, right? But do not ever get such kind of rude replies, such kind of harsh replies which portray yourself and your company's reputation in danger. Because the voice you are using, your voice is the voice of your company, right? Some says that your face value is the face value of your company. Here your voice is the value of your company. So it's really important that you stay courteous and stay or follow these etiquettes while answering the call. And never ever transfer more than 2 times. If you have to transfer a person to a person and then to the next person, and that also don't get connected in between, so it is not advisable, because nobody in the universe has a time to be on hold for any longer time, right? You already know the transfer instructions, and you yourself know what to do and how to connect and what to do next, because you anyhow don't want to let that call cut in between. So these are the basic things that we should know while doing these 3 or 4 steps. Okay, so in the next video we'll be discussing about how to take the call in further directions or further discussion, and how to get the information. I hope you guys will be this video will be really helpful for you all. So thank you so much for watching.